Right, lads. In this video, I'm just going to be explaining who the Half Natty Prince is, okay? And why I came up with that name. Okay, it sounds a bit sus. It sounds a bit random, but yeah. I'm just going to do a backstory. So, basically, from Scotland, and my life, has been pretty decent up to this point, but I've gone through some trials and hard stuff. And one specific point I just want to talk about where I learned so much and I got into self-improvement and wanted to better myself was I always speak about being to the gym and everything, but it was 2020, it was in lockdown, like awful period of my life for like most people, but especially it was bad because well no, it was 2021, that was probably the worst point. End of 2020, end of 2021, start 2021. And I was just on my own in my room in my dad's house. All I had was video games and a little gym in the garage. And I mean, that's probably lucky for me, for considering most people, but I just felt like my mental health was so down, such a bad part. I had no mates, I had nothing going on, I had literally nothing, no aspirations of what was actually going to do in my life. All I had was that little gym in the garage and a belief that I wanted to build a body, and I just played video games, and that's all like it was awful. And that was such a hard period of my life, for most people, but it was so bad for me because it was the winter in Scotland and I had nothing going on, it was just, yeah. And there was a period in my life where everything was messed up, I just remember it specifically. I was running down the road to the post office to deliver something. I don't even know what it was, something. And it was down this like alleyway, this massive alleyway in my old town, and I was running down and I slipped and fell on my back, and I was just looking up like, what the fuck is my life? Like, I've actually done this to myself. All the habits, all the decisions of my life, being scared and playing it safe and doing all that stupid stuff. And I remember it so vividly. Like, it's called the all is lost period. That's what people call it, because it was. I was gone. Yeah. And I don't know, something really switched in me, and I was like, what am I doing? I need to figure out my life. So over the next 6 months, I tried to get all back together, I started to read, I started to think about finance and money and realize the importance of it, planning for the future. Like, that year was actually I'm so grateful for that year in some ways because it made me who I am today. Like, if I didn't go through that, I would not be the person I am. And I know many people have gone through something similar, something awful. But if you can look at something like that and think, right, I've actually learned so much from it and it made me a better person. Like, there's times in your life where it will either make you bitter or it will either make you better. It's the story you tell yourself. So yeah, I learned so much. I started planning for the future. I realized so much, and then I was like, okay, I need to get into finance, get into self-improvement properly, get better as a person, want to improve my life. I went to get a uni degree, which wasn't the best, but I still learned so much during that time, like as a person and life experience, which is so important. I traveled, I did all this stuff, but you know, I did all that, and now I'm sitting here 25, and I'm in a similar sort of position. If I could look back and tell that person like what I've achieved today, I'd be blown away from the money, the knowledge I've got from reading all this stuff, the degree, got a first class degree, all this other things, but and develop myself, my confidence, the gym, start getting to boxing, did a boxing match. But I feel like I'm at a point in my life now where I'm at a new point where I want to excel even further. And I wanted to tell myself when I'm 30, look at all the stuff you've done. Like, looking back when I was 25, like, I'm at a point now where I'm kind of like between crossroads of what I need to do and to level up and like what is next. Like, I'm kind of stuck between, oh, I should go this route, I should go that route. So I want to do this for my future self, almost in a way, for when I'm 30 and look back and think, oh my, he actually achieved all that now. Like, he traveled to all those places, he started that business, he started doing coaching, he invested all that money. And it's like, that's what I love about self-improvement, because you're always chasing the future version of you. And I don't know, there might be people watching this, might not be, but yeah, that's just my story. And you're not alone, because everyone goes through hard stuff. Like, and it is all in your head. Like, what I learned most from that year was, like, in that period, was it was all in your head. Everything in your life is going on in your head. The beliefs you tell yourself, all the stories you create in your mind, it's not all necessarily true. Like, there's your mind is your greatest enemy to yourself, uh, and the stories you tell are what is going to make you unhappy or sad or anything. And it's all just about getting your mindset right, which I really want to focus on. I'm at a point now where I want to do so much more. Like, I want to start doing coaching, start growing my social media, like, get way better at boxing, travel way more, be with like-minded people, level up myself. Because I know there's so much more I can do. I'm only 25. Like, I'm, I know some people are like, oh, he's young or old, but like, it's like, you're always saying, oh, I'm the oldest I've ever been, so I need to achieve all these things. But it's like, no, you're still young. Like, in your 20s, you're still figuring stuff out, and you're trying to figure out what you like and what you don't like, and finding yourself and creating the character of the best version of you. So yeah, so that's me. Um, and yeah, those are some things I just want to focus on, and I just wanted to get my message out there because people don't actually know who the person is. Like, you may look at me and think, oh, he's probably just some fucking, well, some guy that's been handed stuff. And okay, I've been given some things in my life. I fully appreciate and understand that. I've been in some ways privileged, but I've taken the opportunities and I've dealt with them the best I could to like utilize them. But I've also been through some hard stuff, and I know everyone has been, but I'll talk maybe more about it more. But I think that's a good overview of what I've been through. I've been through other stuff, just like isolation and that sort of thing, but it makes you realize what you actually want to achieve when you're isolated. It makes you reflect, it makes you want to understand. And this is another thing, like, I want to work on more faith and, God and religion, because when I was younger, I used to always go to the church. But, I've just started reading way more about the Bible and praying and stuff, because I know it's such an important aspect. There's a creator out there, and you were designed for a purpose, and everyone's here to find their purpose and, build a relationship with God. That's something I definitely want to talk about more, talk about religion, that sort of thing, because, it's such an important part. It's all aspects of life. And if you put God first, you can do anything. And that's such a big part, Like, you might think there's an empty feeling inside you, you feel like something's missing, but that I can tell you for sure it is just having a relationship and talking to God and Jesus Christ and learning about him and stuff like that. But yeah, those are some things I want to focus more on, and just a backstory of who I am. And yeah, like, I'm at a point where I want to reach the next level, build myself, become the next version of myself, reach goals that when I'm 30, I'll look back on and be like, oh my days, I actually achieved that. And I actually just did those things, because that's what I love about the game of life. You can get better. It's never game over. You go through hard stuff, but it's never game over. You can always get back up. You could always, like, that period when I was 20, that was possibly the worst period of my life. I did make it worse myself mentally, because I told myself that, but it's just all these things, they develop your character, and you can become a better person. And yeah, I just want to create more content, talk about my journey, go abroad, do all these things, experience new things, and just live a class life. Because, like, I don't know what other people feel like, but I just want to live a good life. I want to do well and be successful, and just be happy, honestly. Like, not chasing happiness, but, living a fulfilled life. Because that's what else is there to it. You live a fulfilled life where you feel like you're making change within yourself, but with other people and helping other people. And yeah, some things to take away. You could be in a similar position right now, what I was speaking about, but it's just all about looking at your life and thinking, right, what can I do today that's going to better myself? Write it down. What can I do? Do I need to start in the gym? Go for a run? Do I need to build more relationships? But a key part to think about is just being grateful right now of what the stuff you've got. Like, because I always forget about that. Being present and grateful. Because you have so many things to be grateful for. Like, after this video is done, or just pause it, you just think about all the things in your life that you've got already. Because that's what you need. More gratitude in life. And that's definitely what I'm trying to work on more. But yeah, lads. Gonna be posting way more content. I need to focus up, you know. I need to get on the grind more. So yeah, that was just a wee backstory, but cheers for watching, lads. Let's fucking go.